Well, guys, the time has finally come for me to give the answers to all the questions you asked. It is Q&A time. Now, real quick before we begin, I just want to say I'm very happy about all the questions I got. I was expecting to get like 3 questions maybe. That's why I never done a Q&A before. I just didn't feel I'd get enough questions. But you guys delivered, not just on the YouTube comments of that question about it, but also I got Instagram questions as well. So I don't know I'm going to divide this up. I think I'm just going to go through the Instagram questions first, get them out of the way. But again, I'm very grateful and happy about all the questions that were asked. And I'm just hoping I don't, like, right before I hit publish, another question comes in, then I'm going to feel bad and have to add it. But it was like a fun, chill video. Drinking some twisted tea, relaxing on the afternoon. Seemed like a nice time to answer some questions. So hopefully this video comes out good. And hopefully it's not too long either as I blabber on. Because I might have to split it into 2 parts, but let's hope not. But again, if for whatever reason this video says part 1 and your question wasn't in it, your question will be in it, I promise. Alright, we're going to go through the Instagram questions first. There's not that many. I got them all on a Google Doc up there, as you can see on the side screen, just because they were responses to an Instagram story, time sensitive. Anyway, in case you're wondering for whatever reason why there's a Google Doc up there, you probably can't see due to the lighting and shit. X-Tax Box asks, what is your favorite limited edition console? Alright, before I answer that, if I mispronounce any names, I am sorry. Anyway, what is my favorite limited edition console? I actually can answer this easily. Now, there's been a lot of great ones. I have love for, like, the Mountain Dew Xbox original. I think that one looks cool. I'm going to go with the O2D2 Xbox 360. And I probably have a picture of it up somewhere on the screen, hopefully. Yeah, the O2D2 Xbox 360, I just love the look of it, man. I mean, honestly, it still comes down to liking the look of it at the end of the day. So I'm going to go with that one. It has like the white and the blue and everything. It just looks so cool. I'm gonna buy that one day too. That will be in the game room eventually. I can promise you that. Alright, my former co-host of my podcast and my friend Nostalgia64 asks 2 questions. The first one, what decade would you want to go through as a kid, teen, and adult? Now, I don't know if he wants each of them, but we're gonna answer this slowly. Now, God, this is tricky too, because like having to go through all that time in that time period makes it more tricky. Because like time period to visit, well, I'd pop in 1800s, visit that. I don't want to fucking live in the 1800s. You get your leg cut off because you stubbed a toe. I don't want to live back then. I don't even want. I don't even want to live in the 50s. Jesus Christ. You think they'd allow this guy in the 1950s? I'd be getting my ass kicked every day. I gotta think about this one. Oh, God. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. This is gonna be a cheap answer. I would like to be an adult in, like, the year 2000. That's what I'm gonna go with. The year 2000 as an adult. I'm just gonna answer that one. Because I can't really think of the other ones. But I grew up in the 2000s, but because I was a kid born in 2000, I didn't really get to really enjoy it. It was over by the time I realized, kind of. So I have, like, memories of that time period. But to be able to, like, go in 2000, maybe even 99 as an adult and go through that, the rise of YouTube, that early internet, that'd be really cool to experience. Then again, I'm sure I'd land back in 2000 and be like, oh, God, slow computers, I can't even load a video. This image is taking forever to load on the fucking page. I'm sure I'd get really sick of it very fast, but as an adult, and also, an adult with money to fucking, so I don't want to be homeless in the 2000s. Alright, Nostalgia64 also asks, what do you know about the Swanson Corporation? I have been told to say nothing about the Swanson Corporation. I know nothing about their future plans or genocide. Alright, the next question comes from Dingy Basement Gaming, a friend of mine on Instagram. He has 2 questions as well. Now, the 2 questions he asked are similar, so I don't, because, I formatted these a bit, because I got what people were asking. The questions he asked were similar, so I don't know if possibly he thinks I missed the first one. that he sent for the story. But also, the questions are different enough that I felt like I could give an answer to both of them. So the first one. What is the video game console you were disappointed by the most? Alright. This one's gonna generate a little bit of hate from some people, and I'm not saying the console's bad, it's just not for me. PS Vita, I had one for a little bit, it just wasn't for me. It lacked the games I would have wanted. Now, in retrospect, I kind of wish I kept it, because I could have like some PS1 games, and the system itself had some good games as well. And I mean, now it's just gonna get fucking way expensive, but it just didn't have the games for me. Plus, like, the memory code thing, they were so overpriced that, I don't know, there's a lot of tomfoolery going on with the PS Vita. Alright, his next question, are there any game systems you hate or fell out of love with? Well, I mean, there's obvious ones like the Ouya, but I don't really hate the Ouya. I hate that I spent so much money on the Ouya, but also I think it's funny. It's funny that I wasted money and I'm stuck with the Ouya, you know. I appreciate the meme of it. But, alright. Consoles I hate. It's none of the big ones I would say I hate. Like, I feel like there's certain ones I'm not into, but there's always something I could find on that system, or at least respect that system. I'm gonna go with one that you've never heard of, but will eventually be in a video. The Game Wave. It was like this stupid console from the 2000s, like 06, I think. It's like terrible Canadian console. It only played like 5 games, and they're all like trivia games. It's like some family-friendly console. The Game Wave. And I've got it sitting in my closet. It was a waste of money. There's a whole story behind it, I'm sure I've told before. And eventually when I put on a costume made of trash and I make the Gaming Regrets video, you're going to see it in there. That's a waste of money. Fuck trivia games. Who wants to play that? Maybe a family? I don't play games with family, homie. Alright, and then finally for the Instagram questions. And I'm worried about mispronouncing this one's name. I apologize again. If I could pronounce it right, I would. Abu Gray, I believe. Another Instagram friend and a guy I like. He's a supporter of mine. He's always, commenting on Instagram stuff, so I definitely appreciate that support. Abu Gray asks, your thoughts on Mother Russia? And Abu Gray is from Russia, which explains why he's asking. Russia, I have no issue with, like, the people of Russia. But, like, Russia's tricky. Again, I have no issue with the people of Russia. I know plenty of Russian people. Nice people. But, Russia, I don't know. It's weird because, like, I'm going to be honest, like, when in America, there's a stigma. The Russians were always, like, the enemy, to a degree. Like, because of the Cold War and the Soviet Union, like, Russia was the enemy of America. Like, you get that in your head. And, I mean, the Soviets were. So it's tricky because, like, there's that stigma in America about Russia. But ultimately, like, there's no issue with Russian people. I have no issue with any Russian people. I'm not a fan of the Russian government. But I'm also not a fan of my own government. So, what are you going to do? Again, I'm not trying to offend any Russians. I like Russian people. I have no issue with Russia. It's a cool enough place, but not a fan of the Russian government. Alright, that's it for the Instagram questions. Now on to the YouTube questions I was asked in the comment section of the video announcing this Q&A. Our first question comes from a guy named Cooper's Wood. Cooper's Wood, buddy, mad respect, Cooper's Wood, and some of you watching this came from his channel because he shouted me out on one of his morning shout out videos. And recently that video has been bringing people in, so mad respect. Alright, it's the mid-90s and you are in Blockbuster. What game do you rent? What movie do you rent? What candy and soda do you buy? We're going to go down the list. What game do I rent? Well, you know what? I had to think about this because it's the 90s. But this sounds like a party, doesn't it? I'm getting soda, candy. I'm at Blockbuster. I'm living it up. This can only be one day. One day indeed. Friday or Saturday. I ain't got work the next day. I ain't got work that night if I'm You know damn well there's probably pizza somewhere in that too. It's a party time. And if it's party time, I'm picking up that red phone and I'm calling the homies. I'm calling the boys. I'm calling the friends over. And for that reason, I am getting the video game Mario Kart 64. Oh yeah. 90s game. Fun multiplayer. We're gonna race a bit, but we're doing battle mode block foot, motherfucker. Alcohol is kicking in. Yeah, I'm playing Mario Kart 64 with the homies that night. That's the game we're getting from Blockbuster. Now, on to the movie. I don't know. It's tricky, right? Because, like, it depends what the... Okay, the people are going home after this, probably. So, this is the movie I'm going to watch. Starship Troopers is the movie I'm going to go with. So, I had to think about it. That's a fun movie. There's actually intelligent stuff in that movie, like, underlying. But the movie's fun. The battle scenes, killing the bugs. We're gonna live it up against the bugs. And the other one, because it's mid-90s. Thinking. Sorry if there's a weird cut. I had to look up the movie I was thinking of to make sure it came out in mid-90s. Scream. The first Scream movie. I think it's cheesy, like, horror film is good to have as another movie option. So, one of those two movies. Now, on to the last question. What candy and soda do you buy? Well, for soda, I'm probably going to go classic. Either Coca-Cola or Bulk's root beer. Candy. I don't know. Honestly, I just don't know. Maybe M&M's or something. That's like a good, like, party food, probably. I'm gonna go with M&M's, I think. Although, some kind of candy bar might be in there, too. Twix, maybe? I should have, you know what? That or some cool candy bar you guys know of that was only out in the 90s and got discontinued. So, we're gonna go with that. You know, maybe a Moe's bar. I never had that before. That's probably around back then.